There are games that fill box scores, and then there are games that change narratives. For Caitlin Clark, this was the latter. Not just another night at the office, not just another collection of points and assists. This was personal. A rivalry renewed, a statement made. It started with the noise. A crowd ready to pounce, energy humming in the air, boos echoing from the moment Caitlin Clark took the floor. Every time she touched the ball, Chicago fans let her hear it. But if the intention was to shake her, they failed before the first shot even left her hands. The Sky came out aggressive. Shooting 38%, they didn't look spectacular, but they looked locked in. Lindsay Allen was lighting up the perimeter. Angel Reese, determined to set the tone early, found her rhythm in transition. They took advantage of mismatches, found gaps in the Fever's defense, and jumped out to a 24-11 lead. It was quick. It was authoritative. And it was meant to send a message. But Caitlin Clark knows how to answer. She recognized the urgency, saw the look in her teammates' eyes. They needed someone to light the match. So she stepped back, fired, and hit her first three. Then another and another. By night's end, she'd hit 6 of them, tying her career high. The points piled up fast, but more than that, they came at critical moments where momentum threatened to tip permanently in Chicago's favor. Still, Angel Reese wasn't going to let the game slip that easily. She powered her way inside, muscled through defenders, and reminded everyone that while the spotlight may be fixed on Clark, she wasn't a bystander. Not in this rivalry. Not tonight. The Sky's early firepower forced the Fever to adapt quickly. They brought in Temi Fagbenle, their defensive specialist, and immediately the tone shifted. Fagbenle disrupted Reese's timing, deflected passes, and turned defense into offense. The Fever clawed back, closing the gap to just 3 points by the end of the first quarter. It was a momentum swing built on pure grit. Caitlin Clark, sensing the shift, went to work as a playmaker. She began slicing up the Sky defense with surgical precision. Bounce passes through traffic, skip passes to the corner, no-look dishes in transition. Every possession felt like a masterclass. She wasn't just playing the game. She was reading it, writing it, controlling its rhythm. What makes Caitlin so dangerous isn't just her shot. It's her vision, her ability to collapse a defense with a glance to thread a pass between defenders the moment they lean the wrong way. By halftime, she had racked up assists like she was collecting souvenirs. And yet, the Fever were still trailing, still chasing. That's when Clark shifted gears again. She stepped into the role of scorer once more, draining shots off the dribble, curling around screens, and getting to the line with poise and precision. When the Sky tried to trap her near the arc, she simply created space with a step back and punished them with a dagger 3. Then she did it again. Angel Reese, to her credit, kept fighting. She was physical, relentless, grabbing rebounds, contesting shots, doing the dirty work that doesn't always show up on highlight reels. But every time Chicago inched closer, Caitlin had an answer. A dish to Kelsey Mitchell for a corner 3. A sneaky drive through traffic for a scoop layup. A stop and pop from well beyond the arc that brought the crowd to stunned silence. There's a reason why so many seasoned defenders underestimate her. She's not built like a traditional scorer. She doesn't rely on sheer athleticism or brute force. But Clark's game is about deception, misdirection, confidence. Her movements aren't flashy for the sake of showmanship. They're calculated, refined, devastating. And then came the run. Late in the third quarter, with the Fever up by single digits, Clark checked back in. The Sky had begun clawing back, landing punches, refusing to fold. But Caitlin didn't force the moment. She didn't go hero mode. She played chess. She moved the pieces. She orchestrated. Instead of taking over with her own shot, she used her gravity, drawing defenders, collapsing zones, freeing up shooters. The Fever hit corner 3s, rolled to the basket, turned defense into transition buckets. Chicago looked overwhelmed. At one point, Clark pushed the ball in transition, eyes scanning the floor like a quarterback with 4 receivers. She faked the skip pass, then zipped a bounce pass inside for an easy layup. The bench exploded. The building, once buzzing with boos, was now on edge. By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, the Fever had built a double-digit lead. It would have been easy for Caitlin to take a breather, let the clock wind down. But she wasn't finished. She wanted to make it count. She wanted to silence the crowd, not just with a win, but with a performance they couldn't ignore. So she went back to work. Three-pointer number 6. Assist number 10. Then the final stat line, 31 points, 12 assists. Her 5th game this season with at least 20 points and 10 assists. A WNBA rookie record, and she made it look effortless. This wasn't just another strong game. It was domination through composure. The kind of game that starts MVP conversations, not just because of the numbers, but because of the moment, the noise, the weight, the stakes. Caitlin Clark didn't just shut down Angel Reese's challenge. She rose above it. While Reese fought in the paint and battled defensively, she couldn't match Clark's complete control of the game. Not this time. What made it more compelling was how Clark balanced aggression with trust. Time and again, she leaned on her teammates, feeding them, believing in them. That's not a rookie instinct, that's leadership. And it's exactly what the Fever have been missing. Kelsey Mitchell caught fire. Nalissa Smith cleaned up inside. Even when the Sky sent their most aggressive defenders, the Fever moved the ball, stayed disciplined, stayed dangerous, because Caitlin made them believe. There was a moment late in the 4th, after a long offensive possession, where Clark waved off a screen, called her own number, and launched a 3 from several feet behind the arc. It missed, but the confidence was unmistakable. She wanted that shot. Not for the stats, not for the glory. She wanted the dagger. She wanted the period at the end of the sentence. Even with the game all but over, the Sky tried to push. One final run. But Caitlin was ready. She split a double team, attacked the rim, got fouled, and sank both free throws. Cool, clean, clinical. And just when you thought she might slow it down, she hit another assist, setting up a corner 3 that stretched the lead beyond reach. Chicago's crowd didn't boo anymore. They watched. Quiet. Some in disbelief, others in admiration. Angel Reese had moments, tough rebounds, a few strong finishes, but the contrast was undeniable. Clark wasn't just playing well, she was commanding every second of the game. And after the final buzzer with 31 points, 12 assists, and a double-digit win in her pocket, Clark didn't celebrate wildly. She nodded. Calm. Business as usual. That's the difference between hype and history. Clark's season isn't just about numbers. It's about impact. It's about relevance. It's about how every arena she enters transforms into a national stage. How every time she steps on the floor, people care. This performance was her loudest yet. And now the MVP conversations have a new focal point. Because what she's doing as a rookie in the middle of a cultural shift with a spotlight that would crush most players is nothing short of historic. And the question becomes not whether she belongs in the MVP race, but how long it will be until she leads it. So now, it's your turn. Is Caitlin Clark your MVP? Or is there someone else who deserves the crown? Do her numbers, her leadership, her star power eclipse the veterans who've held this league together for years? Or are we witnessing the changing of the guard? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let the debate begin. And if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Because if this is how Caitlin Clark plays under pressure, imagine what happens when the playoffs come.